So hello guys, so what I'm doing now is helping myself to grow myself over here. So I'm just helping myself to seek something much more, and I'm looking to help myself to develop a strategy over here to help myself grow. So it's much more how I'm doing my business, but my business has to be better. And how does it have to be better? I can say my business has to be better through ways of thinking and ways of doing my life much greater and differently, because I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm doing a greater way of life for myself. I'm helping myself to explore life in different ways. I'm making sure I have enough water for success. I'm making sure I'm looking for a better idea, and I'm helping myself to love life. So it's much more how I feel. I need to do action steps right now. I mean, what's the next action step I can take to fulfill my dreams? Apparently now, it's more how I need to grab myself one of those ClickFunnels, start getting those email addresses. I see if I start getting the email addresses for myself over here, I'm learning very quickly about life and help myself to elaborate much quicker. So it's more how I feel. Now I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to understand something that I'm doing life differently, and I'm never shaming myself for who I am. So I'm learning how to actually prosper. I'm learning how to actually grow. And I'm learning how to actually help myself to become abundant. So as I grow myself differently, I'm hugely responsible for my life and for the life I have. So I'm very different in comparison. I'm learning very quickly about helping myself to improve myself. So I'm always on the same show way how I feel. And how I feel is very much different and alive. I feel different and alive about my life. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about developing myself as a person who has a humane ability, who has potential to change everything around, to work for me. And I have 30 years of reading. I have to read more. I have to study more. I have to get into studying and reading more. I have to catch up with my mentors. I have to see exactly what I need to do exactly to help my life to succeed. But life is different, and now I'm somebody who did file for disability support pension. So just to let you guys know that I'm filing for disability support pension at the moment. And why is that? Apparently because in Australia, I'm not living a long time in Australia. I'm living a long time in Australia, but I'm living a long time in life, and I'm living in my mum's house long term. So I'm understanding straight away that I need to find myself in preoccupation with life. And I'm understanding that what's ahead and what's coming ahead of me is that my mum and dad are going to be stripped away from me as well, and I have to deal with that, and I have to understand straight away how I feel about life. Now I'm learning very quickly about helping myself to find a magnitude of ways to succeed differently, and I find myself much more helping life to do greater. So I'm understanding straight away that as I grow myself differently, I'm helping myself to grow life. I'm helping myself to grow in life. I'm looking for better ways of dealing with my life moving forward. I'm learning how to actually help myself to overcome challenges. So I'm understanding straight away how I need to have more experience about life moving forward. And I need to understand straight away who my target audience is, which is everyone is my target audience, and I'm helping everyone to communicate better. And that's it. Actually now I'm understanding straight away that I need a greater way to understand something that is much more how I feel. that I'm learning very quickly that as I grow myself differently, I'm learning how to become someone specific about my life, and I'm learning how to actually help myself grow. I'm learning to help myself grow in different ways of encouragement and different ways of being. But since I'm actually learning how to follow up with everything I have, I'm understanding straight away that I'm learning very quickly about life itself. I'm looking to help myself grow, and I'm just doing a great job for myself in different ways. So I'm understanding straight away that I need a breakthrough. I need to help myself to grow myself. But since I'm going to my mom's house very soon, I'm understanding something, that I'm living life to the fullest. I'm living life to the best of my ability, and I'm learning very quickly about life in different ways, guys. I'm learning how I went without my dad and mum for a long time. Anyway, I'm understanding I'm still alone over here, and I feel alone right now. Anyway, I feel my mum and dad are gone from this world as well, because they're not talking to me now. I understand that it's a new way for myself to grow, but my dad and mum are still here. But once they leave from this world, I transfer my dad and mum into somebody else, who is I. So that way I'm growing myself differently, and I help myself to understand something, that life is different and life happens differently for everyone. And I'm learning very quickly about life, so I'm understanding straight away how I need to grow up and become much more in my life. And I'm learning how to actually YouTube and TikTok and everything these days, because I have the time now to succeed. But since I have the time, I have to understand that I have time, but money I do have, and I have money, time and travel. And now traveling at the moment, no, unfortunately no travel at the moment, but I do have money and time. I do have money and time, and now I have money enough to live. I have enough to live for the moment, because I'm learning very quickly about life differently, and I'll help myself to grow myself in the best kind of way forward. So I'm actually learning from the outcome. I'm learning from what's happening around the world, and I'm learning to salvage myself in different ways. And I'm learning to help to deliver content in different ways. So I help myself to grow myself in different ways. So I'm saying to get those cigarettes and give it to my dad once he goes away, so I never have to smoke a cigarette. So I'll do better for myself, and so I get rid of any temptations. So I'm understanding straight away that I'm learning very quickly about life, but life is becoming better for me, and I'm learning how to have a positive mindset regardless of the situation. I'm learning how to develop myself. I'm learning how to have the best kind of way forward for myself in different ways, and help myself to love life the best way I can. And I'm learning how to actually grow myself differently, yeah? I'm helping myself anyway to find much more empathy and drive and determination to specifically see that no matter what, that if I create an online event right now, unfortunately I never have that much experience to do that, in terms of to do it. So what I need to do is run advertisements online over and over again, and have to select a time and date for people to enter my life coaching capacity online. Then I have to pitch them a product, and I have to make a presentation about life, and I have to make a presentation and hopefully get somebody to give me some money online. So I have to get their email through ClickFunnels, and once I get their email through ClickFunnels, I have to pitch them a product. And I have to get myself qualifications much more to say that I'm doing much greater, which is my love for I. I'm not saying that no matter what, that my qualifications is my own words I give myself. I feel that no matter what, I need to make a product because I'm being giving everything for free. And because I've been giving everything for free, that's how Jesus Christ does it. Jesus Christ does everything for free and gives away everything for free. And I've been doing that. But I have a different mentality now than I did 2 years ago. Now, is there a better mentality? Yeah. I have a better mentality now than before. And I'm keeping toward my habits. I'm keeping to my habits over here. I'm learning how to quickly enable myself to grow. And I'm feeling my way through love and darkness. And I'm learning how to understand straight away that I have no darkness, but I'm learning to outgrow myself differently, yeah? I'm learning to become the best version of myself. So that's what I'm doing. And since I'm actually doing that, I'm learning how to actually find an audience. I'm learning to actually help myself to elaborate on different scenarios and different ways of techniques and different ways of being. So when people see me online, first they spark up intrusion to keep watching me for a bit, and then guess what happens? Approach they die off. And why is that? Approach because they never really understand what I'm doing. I mean, they never really understand what I am and what I do. But on my bio link they do. And now on my bio link they understand straight away what I do, which is I help people go from good to great. And that's it, approach. That's my niche. That's my whole niche, which is get people to go from good to great. And that's it. I'm learning how to actually help myself to understand that's my whole niche. And that's it. I promise you, my target market is everybody. I promise you, everyone's my target market. And now I'm very broad in my target market, but that's how I speak. I mean, that's how I do life. See, that's how I do life, guys. I understand straight away the data of life. I understand straight away that I need to help myself grow, and I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to understand straight away that no matter what, I'm looking for better ways to help myself grow. So what I do is I try to talk to you guys much more. I'm understanding straight away my dad's over here, but I cannot go to him because I'm speaking to you guys. And that's how I feel. I'm traveling through different dimensions. I'm learning how to actually quickly find similarity in different ways. And I'm looking for better ways of dealing with life. So I'm understanding straight away that my life over here is more when I speak more words to you guys. I have to be more enthusiastic and I have to be more passionate about speaking more words, in terms of to speak more words to you guys. I feel that no matter what, as I grow myself, I have to find a way to clearly find concise information to give to you guys, because I understand straight away how other people are making content from other people's content and just adding to the content, and they add to the content, and I understand straight away how it feels to do that. And I'm learning very quickly about life, and I'm learning very quickly about understanding straight away how I need to help myself grow. So what I'm doing, in terms of what I'm doing about life, is very different, and very different about life. So I'm learning how people are going on TikTok, and I'm learning how to help myself to do a greater way of living my life to the best of my ability. And I'm learning my quick explanation of life differently, and I'm enjoying myself to love life. So it's more how I'm understanding something. I'm understanding I do have talent, I do have ability to seek out much better ways of thinking. But if I just help people much more and more and more and more for free, for sure, that's the way, isn't it? For sure, Jesus Christ says yes. For sure, Jesus Christ says the best way to help people is for free, and go for free and help them for free. And regardless of the situation, just keep helping people for free, and keep doing your job that you are meant to do for free. And what you can make out of life is a better life for yourself. I understand, so I have big dreams that are going in a better direction, but I'm understanding straight away that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly how to help myself to grow myself differently, and I'm looking for better ways of improvement with myself. I'm learning how to develop myself quicker, and I'm learning to dwell upon help myself to love life. So my success is different, and I'm learning very quickly about how I need to have kids in this life. And now, am I going to go throughout life having kids? I promise you, yes. I definitely need to have kids in this lifetime. I definitely need to go and find a woman for myself. I need to have a job. I have to have a 9-to-5 job to care for the woman overseas. So I need to find something in an office or something, and find something to do. I find anyway that my life is different, but I'm learning how to grow myself differently, and I'm helping myself to improve. But I feel that if I go overseas, I understand straight away that if I try to do anything online, I promise you I have to do Instagram ads, and now my mum is now willing to give me the money for that. And I'm understanding straight away that I have to understand that. I need to understand straight away that I need my own money. And then my mum's totally against Instagram ads and stuff like that. So I'm understanding straight away how I feel about life. And I have a family that's against what I do. In a sense, so I'm learning very quickly about doing something much greater, regardless of the situation. And I'm learning how I do my life greater for myself over here. I'm understanding straight away that those doctors did screw me up completely, and for eternity that's the case. I ask Jesus Christ what happens now. Jesus Christ says that's it. No judgment. No judgment. No consequences. I should just forgive them, and that's it. They just are doing their job. They're doing their own job, and that's it. Their job is to give people medications, and that's it. That's what they're there for. So that's what they are there for. So anyway, so as I grow myself differently, I'm looking to help myself to improve myself over here. I'm looking to help myself grow. I'm looking to understand that my dad over here was looking at me. I'm learning to help myself to improve myself daily. I'm looking to understand something. Life is going out alone. And you have to understand straight away that I feel life is different and life is trying to encourage me to grow. But I'm finding different ways and different skills, and I'm finding different ways of abilities and different ways of strengths to help myself to move forward, yeah? I'm focusing on helping myself grow. I'm focusing on helping myself to do better. But it's much more how I feel. If I go sit with my dad, Broshi, he does nothing. Broshi does nothing, that's it. Broshi, all he does is watch TV. Broshi, all he does is physical work on the planet. You understand? I'm learning very quickly about life over here. I'm learning to understand that other people have a greater life than me in this life. I ask Jesus Christ, do other people have a greater life than me in this life? So Jesus Christ says, yeah. Wish they have a greater life than me. Wish they have a greater life. And what kind of greater life do they have? Wish they have more money than me. Wish they have more women. Wish they have more kids. Wish they have more of everything than me. And it's all bit by bit. Anything is a cinch. I understand straight away how Brian Tracy says it. I'm pretty sure though, I'm learning to develop myself, and now I'm learning to understand I'm my best version. I am my best version in my life. So my best version says to me, personally, just grow. And outgrow yourself, and that's it. Which that's all I've been doing today so far. Is I need to wake up earlier to personally grow myself and to read something daily, day in and day out. Read something. And now if you find yourself around your house too much, then start reading something day in and day out, and just let time pass away. I mean, you understand? First you must understand that's the way life is. And life is that you get stronger throughout life, and what never kills you makes you stronger. I mean, in a sense, so everything that don't make me, or anything that doesn't kill me makes me stronger. So it's more make me just do life much greater, which is what I do. I make sure that I allow life to live a great life in the process of everything that's nice and beautiful. So I'm learning to find a greater certainty throughout life to make a greater difference. I'm learning how to help myself grow in the best kind of ways forward. So I'm learning very quickly about life. So I'm helping myself to grow myself. And I'm learning how to actually help myself to understand something. That life is on my side, because they're never trying to kill me. So I'm learning how to just develop myself moving forward. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to understand something, that if the police comes up to me and says, "Is this your knife?" Or should I say no? Or should it's never my knife? Or should if they say, "Did you throw it down the gaga?" I'll say, "Yeah, I did." I'll say, "Yeah, I did." See, now that's the thing about life. I should just tell the truth and I shall be set free. And that's it. I should understand. I'm learning very quickly to love and deliver my life in different ways. Looking for better ways of thinking, better ways of strategizing. I'm looking for ways to help my life to succeed differently. And help myself to love life. I mean, you understand? I mean, every single day I'm learning how other people have a greater life than me. So all I need to do is grow myself, but your limit is the money in your bank account. I mean, you understand? So actually now, your limit is your communicational skills. So actually the more you can talk, the better you can be. So actually I have no limits. I have no limits. I never live within limits. I mean, you understand? I live within I have no limits in life. I can always go and make more money. I can always go and deliver content. I can always go and do something that helps me grow. I can always go and do a greater life for myself. But for myself over here, I'm understanding something, that life is different. And I have a better job than other people. But now other people have more money than me. And with that money, they make a kid. And they make a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. And that's all pleasures of this world, isn't it? Well, 9 to 5 work is pleasures of this world. And people who work the 9 to 5 jobs out there are working for pleasures of this world. I mean, you understand? But I work for eternity. I work for eternity. I understand that no matter what, that you can have kids in this lifetime, and then guess what? I mean, somebody kills your kids. I mean, understand? I mean, what did you work for? I mean, understand? So it's possible. I mean, it's possible that you work for all your life to have one kid, and to have the experience of that and to have the experience of having that one kid, or 2 kids, or 3 kids, or more, for somebody to go and kill them once you pass away. I mean, yes, and I'm pretty sure it happens. I mean, yes, and I'm pretty sure you work 50 years to have a kid, or 2 or 3 or 4 or more, and 2 or 3 of your kids go to jail. I mean, yes, and I mean, it can happen. So I'm learning how to love my life. I'm learning to understand straight away that, at least with my YouTube channel, people understand straight away that it's there to stay. Actually, that's information that's there to stay. Actually, my Mega Drive is something different, and that's also there to stay. And I'm learning quickly about life. I'm learning how to understand straight away that I need to be more interesting. I understand straight away that I need to be more interesting about life. And how do I become more interesting? I ask Jesus Christ. I mean, Jesus Christ says, do something that other people are doing. And try to mimic other people. And try to make an Instagram around TikTok videos. And try to do TikTok videos. So anyway, I'm learning very quickly about life. And I'm learning how to actually grow myself differently. So I'm learning very quickly about helping myself grow. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning how to actually help myself to understand something, that you have to grow yourself, yeah? So you have to grow yourself, and you have to have a better life and a better dream about yourself in life. And you have to dream big. I promise you, it's not sure how people can give you the lifestyle you want in this lifestyle. So people can give you the lifestyle you want in this life, but because they're making people work for money, that's the thing. You have to figure it out. And you have to work alone. You have to do everything alone these days. And you have to make money alone. I mean, you understand? Once you have to go throughout life alone, and you have to understand straight away how life is. And as you age, the more responsibility you have. Actually, as you age, I see the more responsibility you have, the more you age. You must understand that. Once you have more responsibilities, the more you grow. I mean, in a sense, so I feel that no matter what, that as I grow myself differently, I'm looking to help myself to understand something, to help grow myself differently, and I'm learning to account for a better view of my life. I'm looking to help myself grow. I'm learning to understand something about life, that I'm helping myself to deliver content. I've been sleeping so much because of the way my life is, and I've been crashing and burning. I've been crashing and burning throughout my life, and I feel like the biggest failure in life. And why is that? Partially because of the money I have in my bank account, and because of the way I am. And it's never because of the way I am. Partially, it's more because of the money in my bank account, and it's because of how much work I have to do. And now, is it because of that? Partially, no. Partially, it's never because of the work I have to do, but it's because of how I need to generate money for my business, and how I wake up every single day in just one house, and I walk around all day long, and I'm trying to always better my life. But it's never because I'm trying to better my life. Apparently, it's more because I'm dealing with life in different ways. But it's more how I can deliver much greater service over here, to say that I'm always doing everything different. And I've been sleeping so much because of the way my life is, and that's it. Actually, how is my life? Actually, my life is different. Actually, my life is growing myself. I understand straight away I can do anything I set my mind to. I can always untie anything in terms of knots in my life. I'm able to do anything I set my mind to. So I'm understanding straight away that I want to help grow myself, yeah? I want to help grow myself, but that's how I feel. I feel 71 years of communicational skills. So it's a long road. It's a long road in life. And it's a marathon sprint. So it's a marathon jog. So I have to go slow and steady, wins the race. So anyway, I have to read more. Definitely. And I have to dedicate at least another 10 years of my life to just reading something. And I understand straight away, the more I read, the better I am. Because I find skills, I find different ways of being. And people seldom succeed before 40, guys. Apparently, it's only after 40 that they start to really realize how life is. Apparently, for the first 3 years after 26 years of age, at 26 years of age, I started Snapchatting and I started social media. And at that site over there, I have that nice and beautiful bubbly feel of doing much greater. And I'm learning how to understand how Trish Yorker says, drink a little bit of the bubbly. Where's that guy? I can see straight away that you never drink wine, guys, you never drink alcohol and drugs. But you must understand straight away that me as my 26-year young self, I'm doing much better now than my 26 youngs. I'm doing way better now than my 26 young self. And I'm learning very quickly about life. But I'm understanding straight away that I was in a worse position before. I was in a worse position than ever before. before in my life. I was in a worse position before than ever before in my life before. And I understand straight away that I'm better than yesterday now. So I just have to do one step today that's better than yesterday. And that's expanding myself today through words. I have to expand myself through words of encouragement. I have to talk, I have to lift myself. I can go to the swimming pools tomorrow. I see straight away that it's more how I feel, that I'm lifting myself anyway. I'm learning how to grow myself differently, and I'm helping myself to understand something, that for the week it's going to be warm over here. I can definitely go to the swimming pool tomorrow. And I can just go in the indoor pools. Go inside the pools over here. I go inside the pools over here at the Woodland Sunday Indoor Pool in Sydney, Australia. And I'm learning very quickly about planning my life to succeed. I see anyway. I'm learning very quickly about life. So I'm enjoying myself anyway. I'm learning to deliver content. I'm learning to persuade myself to do greater and greater. I see anyway, so my dad's going to the shops. I see anyway. It's more how I feel that I let him go. See, it's much more how I feel. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to find peace and quiet in my life in different ways, and help myself to succeed differently. I'm learning to deliver content, and that's how I feel. I feel much more different. I feel much more alive anyway. I see anyway. I see as I grow myself differently, I'm learning to persuade myself to grow myself, and I have much more persuasion techniques to live my life differently, and I'm learning very quickly about life, that life is different. So how can I make success today differently? Actually, that's the question. Actually, it's much more how I need to answer the question differently all the time. I'm learning how Tony Robbins has virtual events. Ben Harvey has virtual events. Grant Cardone has virtual events. They're making virtual events, guys. And I'm learning how to actually help myself to find a better deal for myself. So it's more how I feel. And no matter what, it's more how, as soon as you back yourself up with real estate, and then you go around the world with real estate in your hands, of course you can make as many mistakes as you want, but it's more a personal development trait to have real estate behind your back. And I'm learning very quickly about life moving forward. See, anyway, I'm learning very quickly about how people have to manage real estate, and how people have to go and do their jobs. They have to do their jobs, and everybody has a different job in life. But if you have no financial IQ, then you end up like everybody else. Of course, you end up rich in terms of you end up poor, in terms of you end up poorer than rich. And now with my life over here, the financial side of my life is definitely on the poor side, because I have no money coming in except for government allowance, and I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about understanding that people have to work the 9-to-5 job as well, and that's the only time they get money as well, where you can work the 9-to-5 job and have money, for yourself, but it's more how I feel. And you have to understand straight away that life is different for everybody, and everybody is different in different ways. And I'm learning quickly how to persuade myself to do better. I'm learning how to understand straight away that I'm learning very quickly about my life. I'm understanding anyway that as I grow myself differently, I'm improving myself along the way. I'm helping myself to find different ways of thinking and different ways of being. I'm looking to thrive upon practicing my communicational skills through different lengths and different ways of encouragement, to be doing much more of a greater service of ways. I'm learning very quickly how to love my life. I'm helping myself to grow. I'm helping myself to become much more in life. And I'm learning how to actually help myself to understand something. That my life is very different. And my life is very different in terms of comparing it to other people's lives. I feel much more different. I feel different in my life today than I've ever felt before. I'm learning very quickly about understanding something about life, and my life is different, and that's why I'm always learning. I'm always growing myself differently. I'm always understanding straight away how I feel. I'm always understanding something about life, and that's how I feel, guys. I feel nice and beautiful for myself. I feel I need to grow myself differently, and that's how I feel anyway. I learn very quickly about life. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning how to grow myself, but it's more how I have no car at the moment. But where would I go with my car? I should nowhere. Actually, where is there to go? So I should burn fuel and go for a drive. I mean, come on. And how much do you want to go for a drive with? And for what? I mean, in a sense, so it's more how I feel. I see it's much more how there's nowhere to go with a car anymore. I see anyway, I'm feeling my way through a better way. I'm learning very quickly about life. I understand Avicii and how he just passed away recently in 2019. And I'm understanding straight away how life is. I'm understanding straight away how I'm growing myself, and I'm picking and packing myself in a better way. I'm learning to understand straight away how I'm dwelling upon better ways of thinking and strategizing. I'm learning how I have a better life than other people, in terms of those people who did pass away earlier than me, because I still have life. I still have life. I see how I'm doing more than other people who have gone from this world as well. But it's a different time. It's a different time anyway. I'm living better than people who were born before the internet age. I'm living better than those people. And now these days over here, I'm understanding the internet age now is different, and people have to start learning all this computerization skills and how to generate money and income using computers these days. I have my second vaccination now, with the Pfizer vaccination coming up tomorrow, which is today, and I soon have to go very soon to get my vaccination on the 27th of September 2021, but now it's the 26th of September 2021. So I have one day and I have to go and get my vaccination, and that's my second vaccine, and now from that point it means I can travel places, I can do certain things in life. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to help myself to grow. I'm learning how to actually understand something. I'm learning to find better ways of thinking and better ways of doing my life much more forward. I'm learning how to love myself differently. I'm learning to understand straight away that I'm lifting myself in the process of life. I'm lifting myself. I'm looking for better ways of dealing with life. I'm looking to heal myself of trauma, because I understand how much life can be a traumatic experience for many people. Have a traumatic experience throughout life. I see how I'm learning very quickly about how to dwell upon life, and how I'm learning very quickly about how to make money. I'm learning how to grab myself the notion of being successful with my money and with my time. And I put myself in a better position to succeed than other people, but I have to figure it out. I have to figure it out all on my own. But the next 30 years of talking, I can figure it out. I can figure it all out. And I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how successful I am. I'm learning how to persuade myself to do better. And I'm learning to sell myself in front of people. So busking performances, definitely have to be doing busking performances. And now if people ask me how do I get my money, I just say Jesus Christ is how I get my money. I follow Jesus Christ. I have better habits, and that's it. So that's the answer always. So every single day, I'm learning how to actually learn quickly about life. I'm learning how to understand straight away that I'm helping myself to grow myself, so I'm helping myself to succeed. So every single day I'm learning very quickly about life, and I'm living better right now than a nursery home. I'm doing much more of a different lifestyle, but I never did expect this to happen. Actually, what's happening now? Actually, now I'm at my dad's house, and let's just say I'm bored. And I'm not bored, but it's like all I can do now is talk to you guys and walk around like an idiot. It's more like I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot. I'm an idiom. I mean, I'm an individual who understands how to speak, and I understand how to talk. But what I need to do is help myself to curate myself into greatness. I have to understand straight away how to talk. I need to talk to myself daily. I need to help myself to visualize a greater direction for myself. Anyway, it's much more how I feel. I feel much more different, guys. I feel alive. I feel I need to grow myself differently, yeah? And life is like that. I mean, life is just like help yourself and do life much more differently. I mean, do you understand? So if you understand straight away how you need to understand the eye, I say the eye factor is always beautiful, isn't it? I see. Anyway, so as I grow myself differently, I'm always understanding how to love my life in different ways. I'm understanding the best design in your life is the word I. I is your best design. I is the best design in life. But that's how I feel. I feel different. I feel I have to go throughout life. And now I'm not depressed, but I have to go throughout life living better. And I have to lift myself into that every single day. I need to control myself in a better way. And now since I have no car at the moment, actually it's tougher for me to have a 9 to 5 job without a car. Because I'd rather have a car to go to a 9 to 5 job with than no car. I mean, why is that? I'm not sure why. I promise you, it's much more how I need to understand something. That I'm moving into the phase of having no car for the rest of my life. And now, guess what? I promise you, at some point of time, I'm going to have to need a car. I'm going to need a car to drive my family around at some point. So I'm understanding straight away that it's much more how I feel. And I need to get to work and get in and out of work. I need to go and help myself to do that for myself. See, it's much more how I feel. So how I feel is very much alive and different. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to help myself to succeed differently, and I'm learning to help myself to defer in a better way, in a better department. So I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to help myself to understand something about loving my life differently, and as I grow myself differently, I'm looking for better ways to explain for myself to grow. So that's how I feel. And how I feel is very different, and I feel very alive. I feel no matter what. I remember the time when some other guy was fucking my mother in front of me. And it's more how I'm understanding that. And that happened as well. And I remember when my dad as well was fucking my mum in front of my face as well. And my dad hit me across the head because I seen that. And I remember. And I feel my life is different. I feel I have a different life. See how I've been living the past 3 months over here in New South Wales. I've been locked up. And what kind of locked up? I mean, what? I mean, it's just the coronavirus pandemic. It's locking everybody up. And what would have I done any different if the coronavirus pandemic was never here? I should just go to my mum straight away. I should go to my mum straight away, and also be able to go do busking performances, and that's it. See, that's all. I see now it's time to get my disability support pension. So I get a disability support pension because the doctors were willing to give me one, so I may as well. And now I'm learning very quickly about life to understand something, that I never need to get the disability support pension, but I want to get one just so I can grant myself a greater time to have more money in the pocket, And that's it. I promise you, every single time I'm understanding something, I'm understanding straight away that I'm learning and relearning everything about my life. I'm doing everything much more differently, and I'm learning the steps to curation in different ways. And I'm learning how to actually feel my life moving forward. I'm learning how to feel my way through life. I'm learning how successful I am as an individual. I mean, as an individual, I'm very successful, so I'm learning how to succeed differently. I see the potato chips over here, I need to understand something, just let it be. Let it be. I'm learning how to understand more about life. I've been sleeping too much, and the trick is wake up earlier and make sure that you're performing and outperforming yourself to understand straight away how to succeed and how to do life much greater. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to deliver content, and I feel that no matter what, that you must understand straight away, you must be calling people, and you must be understanding straight away that's how Grant Cardone says it. So you must be calling people to get clients, and you must advertise yourself to them, and you must be contacting them to talk to them to get them to give you money. I mean, you must ask for money, and the more you ask for money, the more somebody is going to give it to you. I mean, in a sense, so you have to contact people, and you have to talk to people all day long to give you the money. I mean, in a sense, so you have to devote yourself to having clients around life coaching and around strategizing yourself to become free. And that's what I need to be doing as well. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to peacefully find myself successful. I'm understanding straight away how I feel. And I'm learning very quickly about understanding straight away that I need to help myself to deliver content. I'm understanding straight away that as soon as the coronavirus lifts away, which is people in the Serbian department are going to get together and they're going to ride the wave of life together. And I'm never in that picture because I left the Serbian community a long time ago. And now I left them because most of them dislike me anyway. And I'm doing better without them anyway. I never need them at all. And they're showing me that they never need me either. And that's it. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to successfully deal with my life much greater. I'm learning how to actually grow myself. I'm learning how to become the best version of myself differently and definitely. I'm learning how to become the best version of myself differently and definitely. With a difference and with a stewardship way of life. I'm learning how to understand something. And since I'm actually growing myself differently, I'm performing something. I'm doing something on audio programs all day long. I'm learning how to actually grow myself. And that's how I actually grow. I grow through different ways of encouraging myself to love my life differently. So that's how I feel.